Chapter 3, decimals. The student learning objectives are define a decimal place values, change a fraction to a decimal and a decimal to a fraction, add or subtract decimals, multiply or divide decimals, multiply or divide decimals by multiples of 10. A decimal is another way of writing a fraction whose denominator is 10, 100, 1000, and so on. For example, 3 over 10 can be written as 0.3. 5 over 100 is written as 0.05. The period in the decimal notation is known as the decimal point. So the decimal place value chart is shown below. So we have the decimal point here. The digits that come to the right of the decimal, the first digit is the 10th place, and the second digit is the 100th place, and the third digit, the 1000th place, and so on. It continues. And then to the left, their place values are the same as the whole numbers. So the first digit to the left of the decimal is the ones place. The second digit to the left from the decimal point is the 10th place. And then the third digit from the decimal to the left is the 100th place, and so forth. So now let's look at how to change a fraction to a decimal. So we use long division to divide the numerator by the denominator. So let's divide 5 divided by 9. So 9 doesn't go into 5. So there's a decimal point here. We put that decimal up here. And we put a 0 next to the 5. 9 goes into 50 5 times. So we put the 5 above the 0. 5 times 9 is 45. Subtract. We have a remainder 5. So we bring down another 0. This is a terminal 0. And 9 goes into 50 5 times. 5 times 9 is 45. Subtract. The remainder is 5. Again, we put another 0 here, the terminal 0, and then we bring it down, and now we have 50. 9 goes into 50 5 times. 5 times 9 is 45. Subtract. This remainder is 5. As you can see, there's a pattern. So that pattern doesn't change. It's repeating. So 5 divided by 9 is 0.5. To show that the digit 5 is repeating, we put the bar on top of the 5. So let's look at another number. Let's divide 8 by 300. 300 does not go into 8. So we have a decimal point here. We put that decimal here, and we put a 0 here. 300 doesn't go into 80. So we put that 0 here, and then we put another 0 here. 300 goes into 800 2 times. 2 times 300 is 600. Subtract. The remainder is 200. We bring it down. We put another 0 here, and we bring it down. We have 2000. 300 goes into 2000 6 times. 6 times 0 is 0, 0. 6 times 3 is 18. Subtract. So we have the 0, 0. Borrow 1, 10 minus 8 is 2. 200. Put another 0 here. Bring it down. Again, 6 times. 6 times 300 is 1800. Subtract. 200 is a remainder. Put another terminal 0 here. Bring it down. 0. 6 times 300 is 1800. The remainder is 200. There is a pattern that repeats. So this here is equal to 0.026. Now, only the digit 6 is repeating. We put the bar on top of the 6. To change a decimal to a fraction, write the decimal as a fraction with a denominator of 10, 100, 1000, and so on. Simplify the fraction if possible. So this decimal, we can write it as 4.0.486. There is a 1 underneath. And then there's a decimal point here, and there are terminal zeros to the right of 1 and to the left of 1. So we move this decimal point to the right until we get a whole number in the numerator. So how many places do we move it? 1, 2, 3. So now that becomes 486. Because we move the decimal in the numerator 3 places to the right, we need to move the decimal in the denominator 3 places to the right. 2, 3. So over 1,000. So we changed the decimal into a fraction is 486 over 1,000. Now we can simplify this. So simplifying this, we need to find common factors, the greatest common factor. So let's break 486 into 2 times 243. 1,000 is 2 times 500. 2 is a common factor, they cancel out. Now we are left with 243 over 500. So this, 0.486 as a fraction is 243 over 500. To add or subtract decimals, follow the steps below. Line up the decimal points. Extra zeros may be added to the right hand of the decimal if desired. Add or subtract the appropriate digits. So we're going to line up the decimals vertically. We're going to line up the numbers vertically and line up the decimal points. 2.347. So for the second one, we put the decimal here and we have 8 to the left and then 936. So we're adding 7 plus 6 is 3. So now we add like we're adding whole numbers. 13 carry over 1, 5 plus 3 is 8. 3 plus 9 is 12. 2 carry over 1, we put the decimal. 3 plus 8 is 11. So 11.283. To multiply decimals, follow the steps below. Multiply the digits, like you're multiplying whole numbers. Count the number of decimal places in the numbers being multiplied. This number determines the number of decimal places in the answer. 0.009 times 0.07. 7 times 9 is 63. 3 carry over 6. 7 times 0 is 0 times plus 6 is 6. This is 0, 0. 0 times 9 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. And then the last 0, we have a 0, 0, 0, and 0. So now we add these numbers vertically. 3, 6 plus 0 is 6. The remainders are zeros. Okay, so now we count the total number of digits to the right of the decimal and the numbers that we're multiplying. So there are 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means we need to have 5 digits to the right of the decimal in the answer. So the decimal point should be 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be here. So now we have 5 digits to the right of the decimal. So this is the answer. So now the horizontal line in a fraction represents a division. So we have a numerator, the number on the top of the horizontal line is the numerator, and below it is the denominator. And this can be written as numerator with a division sign and denominator. Similarly, we can replace the numerator by the dividend over the denominator by the divisor. So which can be written as dividend divided by the divisor. So to divide using long division, the setup for the long division is as follows. The dividend goes inside, and then the divisor goes on the outside. So when we are dividing, what we get on what we put up here is the quotient. Okay, so this is dividend over divisor, or we can write it dividend divided by divisor. To divide decimals, follow the steps below. Count the number of decimal places in the divisor. Move the decimal point to the right, the same number of places in both the divisor and the dividend. Perform the division. Line up the decimal points in the quotient with the decimal point in the dividend. So here we're dividing 8.6 divided by 1.7. Okay, this number needs to be a whole number. To do that, we need to move this decimal to the right one place to make it a whole number. Now, because we moved this decimal to the right one place, this decimal needs to be moved also one place to the right. So we are now dividing 86 by 17. So 17 doesn't go into 8, it goes into 86. How many times? Let's say 5 times. 5 times 7 is 5. Carry over 3. 5 times 1. 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. Excuse me. Subtract. Remainder is 1. Now we have a decimal point here. We put that decimal here, and we have a 0. A terminal. We added a terminal 0, and we bring it down 10. 17 doesn't go into 10, so we put a 0 here. And then we put another terminal 0 and bring it down. And 17 goes into 100. How many times? 5 times. 85. Subtract. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 8 is 1. 7. So now we put another terminal 0 and we bring it down. So how many times would 17 go into 150? Let's say maybe 7 times. 49, 9, carry over 4. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. Subtract. 10 minus 9 is 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. So it does go more than 7 times. So how many times would it go? It would go, let's say, 8 times. Eight times 7, no, 85, this is 5, 15, we bring down 0, so now it goes 8 times. 8 times 7 is 56, 6, carry over 5. 8 times 1 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, subtract. 10 minus 6 is 4, 4 minus 3 is 1, 14 is a remainder. Put another 0, terminal 0, bring it down. How many times would it go? 8 times. 17 times 8 is 136. Subtract. 10 minus 6 is 4. So remainder is 4. Put a 0 here. Bring it down. How many times? 2 times. 2 times 17 is 34. Remainder is 6. Put another 0. Bring it down. How many times would 17 go? 3 times. 3 times 17, 1, carry over 2. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5, 51, 9. So this continues. So this here is approximately 5.058823. So when multiplying a decimal by multiples of 10, such as 10, 100, 1,000, for every 0 in the multiplier, move the decimal point one place to the right. So we are multiplying here by 1,000. So we have 1.1126. And we have 3 zeros. That tells us the number of places we need to move the decimal to the right, which is 3. So 1, 2, 3. Now the new location of the decimal will be here after multiplying it by 1,000. So we have 1, 1, 2, 6. So now it will be 1,112.6. This is the answer. When dividing a decimal by multiples of 10, for every 0 in the multiplier, move the decimal point one place to the left. So in this case, we have 234.5 So we have 3 0, we have 4 zeros. So we move the decimal to the left 4 places. 1, 2, 3. We add a terminal 0 and then 4. So the decimal is over there. This here is equal to 0.02345.